Welcome home, Raiders. This week, we've got Legendaries and Artifact Talents and a lot more in store for you today. This is Convert to Raid number 203.
You're listening to Convert to Raid, the podcast for Raiders in the world of Warcraft.
Podcast Power Station in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is December 1st. Welcome to December, everybody. 2015. It is now 9:15 p.m. Central. We got a little carried away in the pre-show. We were talking about all sorts of different stuff. It was crazy. Thank you for joining us from all around World of Warcraft land. And hello, my name is Pat Crane, the host of this little shindig. And as always, the players are here. Not Darius, though, because he's off traveling. Still from Thanksgiving or something. I don't know what he's doing. He just said he wouldn't be able to make it. That's all I know. So, let's go to our man from Line of Sight Gaming. One of them, anyway. It's Tatba. Hey, Tatba.
Hey, guys.
How you been?
Oh, so good. Super busy.
Any new topics?
Yeah, we have a lot of ideas coming up. The latest was an Overwatch first impression video.
Cool.
And then moving forward, probably going to spotlight the individual Overwatch heroes, and then probably do some map videos. And then
We'll talk about that later because I actually want to talk to you about that. But let's get to the man from the Lords of the Storm podcast. It's Gizmo.
Hello. Let's be honest. I'm pretty sure I'm the reason Darius isn't here. I think he's still upset with me a little bit.
He may be.
But yeah, that happened. Thought that we'd go into that. I'm still pumped from BlizzCon though. I'm ready to go.
Oh man! And let's go to our man from Adults with Jobs. It is Shark. Hey Shark, how you doing, buddy?
Do we have CTR drama that I didn't know about?
No,
what'd you do to Darius?
We don't need to go into it.
all sorts of weirdness at the asparagus house.
Darius is,
during BlizzCon.
Okay. So, inside jokes. Darius is always angry at me, so there you go. He's just sad that he's not here with me. But,
well, hello, fellas. And we were talking a lot about, I just want to kind of bring this up right now. Why don't we? We were just talking about the Warcraft movie and about how all these meetups are happening. And I know that the Converted was talking about this last night. The Converted is the podcast for the CTR Guild community. And I know that there's so many meetups, and it made me think of BlizzCon, because I'm like going, all these meetups, I just want them to happen in one place, like it did just a few weeks ago. I'd really love that. Yeah. That was
crazy.
So
that was only a month ago.
I know.
Or less
that
than
means
a month.
there's only like 11 months until the next one.
There's only like 49 weeks until the next one.
Woo-hoo. Right. Yeah, something like that. That's not that bad.
5 or 6 months till tickets go on sale.
Right.
Yeah.
Looking forward to all that stuff.
Just start saving.
Oh, yeah.
Have any money.
Start saving, everybody.
I know, right?
But of course you have to, blow it all on holiday presents. So
yeah, and all the new games that this
new games.
This week has been, or the past couple weeks has been rough with new games.
Yeah.
I've Fallout and Legion and Overwatch and all that stuff came out and pre-ordered, and all my bank account's like going, but it's Christmas.
Yeah, the Heroes Black Friday sale has.
Oh God,
in my wallet.
Well, actually, there's a bunch of different sales going on right now. If you're a Blizzard gamer, because right now you have Warcraft is on sale for $5 for the battle chest through Mists of Pandaria, or through. No, not through Mist. Through, is that right? Yeah, through Mist. And then WoD is like $12 or something like
12,
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
the whole thing.
That is a good
15.
deal.
That's awesome. Are you kidding me? And then there's the Heroes sale right now, which is it still going on, or was that just Black Friday?
The Heroes sale goes on through the 8th, I believe. It's the 6th or the 8th.
Yeah, I think you have another week to check that out. And there's some really great. It's basically 50% off everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
All the skins, all the heroes, all the everything. You can go nuts.
And then they have the 360-day stim pack.
Right.
Which it's $60, which seems really pricey, but that is, if you don't get this, that's 6 months worth of stim packs. So you get a year. Not quite a year. Why is it 360 days? Why isn't it just 365?
I don't know.
They were trying to be cute.
What the?
be like, there are 5 days you're going to have to pay. Like, we're not coming.
That's it. Heroes is going to Xbox. But it's not,
confirmed.
But it's the 360, not
360. I was like, wait, what? Confirmed.
Confirmed.
And then they're gonna give you a 1-day pass, and that's how we'll really know. It's like, it's the code, the 360-day pass, and now the 1-day pass.
Right.
We're in.
Right.
That was a terrible joke.
Yes.
that played so well.
It really did. It really did.
Oh well.
Welcome, fellas, and welcome everybody from around World of Warcraft to the show. It's kind of a slow week as far as World of Warcraft. Actually, not as far as World of Warcraft goes, but as far as like all the other games, they're kind of just running their stuff from BlizzCon still. We're still seeing some of the things that they've released since BlizzCon, but World of Warcraft is actually pretty. There's still a lot to talk about. A lot of data mining still going on the beta side of things. They still haven't released a playable beta out to anyone. It's the alpha that they released last week is still the only thing available, so you can only do Demon Hunters, and it's fun. Tatva, you were just doing Demon Hunter, right? Yesterday or something.
Yeah, I'd been so busy lately that it took me a while to finally get around to going through the alpha. So it's just the Demon Hunter starting zone. I don't even think it's complete because it leaves you in a spot where you're supposed to go back to the Black Temple. Spoiler alert. Anyways, go back to the Black Temple because it's under attack and you need to go help Illidan defend it. And so I'm sure that that's going to play a part in the Demon Hunter starting zone, starting experience. But yeah, it feels like it'd probably be like 75% of the starting experience, I think, is there. But it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Yep. I waited long enough so there wasn't a huge crowd in there or anything fighting over everything. But yeah, it's awesome.
It is pretty
Demon
cool.
Hunter's a lot of fun to play.
And because I talked to you, I had to go back through through that starting zone a little bit and check out some of the things that you were talking about, because you were saying all these little things, they'll give you extra buffs and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, wow, now I got to check it out.
Did you get the crystal? The
I didn't.
Unlimited charge crystal?
I didn't.
That's the best one.
I know. I didn't get that one, but
we'll log in after. I'll show you. It's so awesome.
Because I spent most of my time just jumping around and seeing how far I can get, but you can get an unlimited charge crystal.
Yeah,
there's these little green crystals laying like scattered around Mardoom or whatever, and you just go click on it, and it no cooldown on your charge and unlimited charging for 2 minutes.
What?
And so you're just like,
what?
Zing,
but
zing,
you
zing,
can
zing,
only
zing,
use
zing,
it
zing,
there.
zing.
Right. So you can always use it.
It's like an area buff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's pretty great. Speaking of other pretty great things that we've been doing, is one of the things is the Moose Run. And I know, so AComp and the guys from Convert to Mythic and some other raid teams around the Convert to Raid Guild have been signing people up. And if you want to join the guys, you can always go to converttoraid.com. There's a little banner right at the top. Make sure to whitelist the site if you see this. We don't run ads on our site, but so you can feel free to whitelist it. And it's just the banner up at the top. Some people were having problems finding it. And you can sign up there. I think we have like 400 people signed up for it or something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So there's a lot going on, and AComp has been running it. He's been doing a great job. And Giz, you were part of that this week, right?
Yeah. We got 35 people through the 5 runs.
That's awesome.
This week, so it was a lot of fun.
Oh, wait, hold on a sec. There we go. Oh, I wanted to get some applause going, and I hit the wrong button. But that's super cool. So we got 35 guys through this week, and that's kind of the plan, right?
Yeah, I think we may be changing it up a little bit just to try and maximize our efforts and stuff. But so we do have over 400 people signed up. So if you haven't gotten your email or anything, don't worry. We'll get there eventually, but there's a lot of people.
Eventually, yes. And I was actually going to join you guys this week, but then my wife made plans for me, and I was like,
Dun, dun, dun.
"Oh, okay."
I'm gonna need to come one of these weeks too. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a good time. I was there for the first week. It was a good time. I totally sucked on the meters. I was getting beat by tanks for healing, and it was pretty great.
Yeah, I may not be invited back this week. I completely, for some reason, forgot how to hunter because I've been messing around on Demon Hunter.
Oh,
I was like, oh man.
So you were demon hunting instead of regular hunting?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's running up there. He's like, "Why is this bow not acting like a glaive?"
sorry to comp. That's my bad.
Yeah. Well, and did you guys go through pretty much unscathed, or did you have like a couple of wipes here and there? What was going on?
I think we one shot in 3 of the groups, and then 2 groups. It was mainly me just being dumb, but I think we had a couple wipes. But it went really smooth.
Cool. And it's just a lot of fun. And you go and you get your mount, and you're like, all right, awesome. And then go on to the next group. It's pretty cool. And what was it? Acomp totaled it up because they're saying that people say that the average run is costing people like $50K. Or sometimes more, depending on the group, right?
Yeah.
I think 2.5 million.
2.5 million goals
that CTR has effectively donated to the community.
And we're doing more. We're doing a lot more. So make sure to sign up if you haven't signed up yet. Please do understand that there may be a wait, so have some patience. But the moose mount's cool. You can't go wrong with the moose mount. I like it. Another thing you can't go wrong with is following us on Twitter. I just want to say this before we get to the news. No, because I did a Twitter giveaway this week, and this is a real thing. So I have in my possession right now, I have a BlizzCon swag bag in a BlizzCon box, fresh from Blizzard HQ, and let's see if I can open it.
You just ruined it. Now the collectible
Nobody
value.
cares.
I'm gonna add to it, so it's okay. So it's okay.
So, box,
but it's the BlizzCon box. It's got the BlizzCon swag inside, still wrapped. So that's cool. And last week, I tweeted out a thing using the show Twitter account, which is Convert to Raid. If you don't follow us, and we gave it out, and we gave out this. We're giving out T-shirts. We're giving out some pins and other things, other crap that I don't want in my house anymore. Old clothes. No, not really. But we're giving away some prizes, and I picked all the winners today, and it was really cool. So all these people are going to be getting their prizes.
Yay.
So congratulations, and congratulations to Ladra Fire who won the BlizzCon swag bag,
the grand prize,
and it's everything.
Ladra, if you get a mini Arthas in there, I'm hunting you down.
Dude.
Just letting you know, I'm hunting you down.
In the
seriously.
Heroes, yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, I have the no, I don't have it here. It's across the room.
You got Kerrigan.
I have a Arthas, but I don't have the Arthas that was being given away this year. So
I just want to say those bags they gave this year are incredible.
Super sweet.
They're amazing. So I hope to do that.
The best part of the goodie bag this year was the goodie bag.
Yeah.
It was really, really awesome.
Yeah. So, and we'll be doing more giveaways as we go through every once in a while, as I have prizes to give out and stuff like that. So make sure to follow us on Twitter. Do it. And let's go now to the Raid News.
Calling all raiders from around World of Warcraft land. This is Raiding News.
All right, it's time to check out what's happening in the news for raiders around the World of Warcrafts. And up first, we are going to be talking about Legendaries. They released the Legendaries, all of the Legendaries, to the wild. They put them in the beta, and they have been data mined for the beta. And Tadfa, lead me through this, because we still don't know a lot about what is going on with these legendaries, but what do we know about these things?
Well, I mean, as far as what we know is that, according to the tooltips, is they're going to be BOP.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to farm them,
Mm-hmm.
or there will be rare world drops. You can target specific ones somehow, but they're going to be awesome throughout the expansion.
Yep.
And then, like, it's just super diverse. There's like 53 of them, 56?
56,
something like that.
yeah. I think so.
But, like, looking through the lists and the, like, little effects that they have, like, they're going to be awesome. They're going to be so much fun. And I really hope that they're extremely rare. Because, I mean, it's just taking it back to the old days, like that wow factor.
Yep.
I mean, people have, like, lately we've been given legendaries. I mean, we have to work for them and, like, progress them throughout an expansion or whatever.
Sure.
But they don't feel legendary. Well, to me, anyways. Like, it's just one of those, it's something to do. It's a chore you have to, like, make sure you're up to date with and all that kind of stuff. And everyone has it. It's not that big of a deal. But if these things are, like, as rare as they should be, like, getting one to drop is going to be intense, and people seeing you with one is going to be awesome. It just brings that wow factor back, and they have some cool effects.
Sure.
So.
Well, and you kind of brought up something that I think that we should bring up now, and that's talking about how a legendary feels, right? And so for this next expansion, it looks like we're going to be getting a plethora of legendaries sprinkled about the WoW universe somewhere. And we're going to be able to farm them, and they're going to be class roles or spec, specific, so that sometimes it's like I saw one for druids where it was like something to do with thrash, so where it gives a bonus to that or something along those lines, and
cost 20% less.
Yeah, thank you. you were paying attention to the druid ones. Go figure. Really?
Oh, there's some cool ones. There's so many cool ones.
But
I hope they maintain. I hope they stay. I hope they stay
Sure.
unique and kind of crazy awesome.
And of course, this is still so early that they'll probably change or whatever. So I don't want to necessarily get into too many very specific things. But I mean, what to you guys does this feel like a legendary thing, or what do you expect when you hear the word legendary when talking about items? And Tatva, you were saying going back to like BC era, this random drop type of thing feels legendary to you. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, it just like, back in that day, like hanging around Shat or whatever, you'd see someone in Black Temple gear or something, and just it was super rare, super unique, and it was just awesome. Like, you'd just like walk up to this person and be like, oh my gosh, I want to be him. And
Right.
I mean, and so like something like this where it's not something that everyone's going to have, everyone's going to want it. And so it's just when you see it, when you get it yourself, or when you see someone with it, it's just like, holy crap, that's awesome.
Nice.
Anyways.
Nice. Gizmo, how about you? Does this feel like legendary, or did the old systems feel like legendary, or what?
It's going to be hard to tell with this right now, but Todd, I have to disagree. That ring, darn it, it felt legendary to me because it took me so long to get that thing.
Well, you are the boat master. You are the boat master.
But I mean, this list is huge, so I'm a little worried on because it's a legendary. I'm assuming you get this, it's going to be your best in slot for the expansion. So it's like, how much is that going to take away from like the feeling of getting loot while you're raiding? But I'm hoping, and I don't know the old system of legendaries, but I'm hoping it would be like a super rare mob, and like it's like a 1-2% chance drop from that mob. So hopefully they're very hard to get, and I think it'll be awesome. I'm just glad no more shipyard or garrison legendaries. That's 100% okay with me.
That's fine by you. Shark, how about you, my man?
I will be the voice of dissent.
Uh-oh.
I hate it.
Uh-oh.
Hate is a strong word. Let me say it this way. I agree with Gizmo about the fact that putting so much effort into like getting the cloak in mists and getting the ring And this, you spent so much time. You spent the entire expansion doing things, running raids, and I felt that the accomplishment was legendary. The accomplishment, all the things you had to do to get the thing was huge. Where I feel like, and I don't know, they haven't really talked much about how you're going to get these, but the idea of them being rare drops and like just camping mobs in the world and hoping a legendary drops doesn't sound legendary to me. That sounds lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that does not have that, oh, wow factor. Like, oh, wow, that person put so much effort into getting this thing. And the other thing, even especially just like, I love the idea of looking at somebody and like, let's say if there were shoulders or something and everybody got individual unique shoulders, or like back when they did legendary weapons, you see people with that and you go, that's awesome. But a lot of them are wrists and, waists and things you're not even really going to see, which was a problem I had about the ring. At least the cloak, you could see the proc and it looked really, really cool.
Yep.
But anyway, I love that they are putting a bunch of them out there. More loot is great. Hopefully they'll find a way to balance that so a class doesn't feel left out. I know right now on this list, there are 2 priest legendaries and they're both Healy. So if you're a shadow priest, they're like, you'll find something in the general pile over there or something. So, and I know this might not be
in the general pile.
They do have
big
like
pile of general legendaries. It's just
DPS legendaries.
They're not quite as legendary because they're just general.
Right. And so I don't know. It's just I liked don't get me wrong, the ship quests were a huge mistake.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy, were they ever.
Like that was the worst. I think I tweeted at Blizzard at one point and said, this is the most unfun thing I have done in games ever. Like ever. I hate it. It's the worst. Good try, I guess, but it was so bad. So don't go back to something like that. Or grinding dailies. I just don't feel like, but at the same time, going to dungeons to collect these items, going through the raids. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I'm a raider. This is a show about raiding. I feel like legendaries need to be tied to raiding.
Sure.
And if you want to have PvP legendaries for accomplishments that you do in PvP, that could be another thing, or even soloing legendaries or legendaries you get at dungeons. Maybe that's what they're trying to do with this, but it sounds like they're just going to be world drops.
I don't know. Well, I think, when I take a look at this list and I think about all the things that are coming up, and they're talking about, how to diversify classes and specs and all these kinds of different things, I think it's a not necessarily a misstep, but because we don't know exactly how these things are going to lay out. But if it's purely world drop, right? Yeah. I think they're missing a key component of what legendaries could be. And one of those things could be using those class halls that we're going to be getting for Legion. Use those class halls to the legendary for like a legendary quest line, like a mini quest line. Like you can get like an initial thing off of a world drop and nobody's really going to care. Right. Yeah. And you're going to say, oh, okay, this is cool. I'm on my way to getting a legendary. And then go through, I don't know how long it has to be to become a legendary quest or anything like that. I don't think it needs to be as long or as drawn out as it has been in the last 2 expansions. But I think it could be cool to like tie it back to the class halls or something along those lines, where you have to like go back and you have to say, okay, it gives you another reason to go back to your class hall and really kind of explore that part of the world. So I don't know.
And the fact that it was intertwined with the lore, the story that was being told, that's always something that felt legendary to me. But I've talked a lot. You guys, what?
So I really like that. I do like the progression to get the legendary throughout the expansion.
Sure.
I didn't like the fact that everyone got the same legendary and it was the same story. I do like the idea of class halls having a class or spec specific quest line, kind of like back in Kata. You had the caster staff that turned you into the dragon, which was sweet.
Yep.
I think in they also had a rogue quest in Kata.
Yep.
So something class specific. And it does, thinking or hearing Shark talk, it does worry me a little bit. Like if all this stuff is world drops, how much time, if you are a hardcore raider, are you going to have to spend farming these? Because if you want to be raiding at a top level, it's like, hey, you guys have to have these. Like, you got to get them.
And
best in slots, best in slot.
Right. And you know what's going to happen is that, you take a look at any super competitive raid team. If you don't have that legendary and somebody else does, you're on the bench.
Yeah.
You're riding pine until you find it.
And it doesn't matter how good of a player you are. There's going to be a lot of people leaving the game for that reason. I think if this is just a world drop thing, unless they purposefully make them not best in slot, which makes the legendary idea seem really, really strange.
Well, and they say that these legendaries are going to be good for the rest of the expansion. Right.
So are they just opening it up and then maybe they're it seems weird to me. I don't know. I don't just the way that this game is played, I don't think it'll work.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough information fully out yet to jump on a conclusion and say there's going to be a whole bunch of people quit the game because of it. But it's it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they implement it, and I don't know. We'll see.
It's always tough.
One thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thought. Anyways, just in regards to like uniqueness and the whole like building a legendary and stuff. Like if I'm a developer and I'm creating legendaries, and I'm like, we have an opportunity to make some awesome procs. Having set legendaries like a ring or this or that, it takes the fun out of it. It's just a standard thing across all the classes. Like I think this helps bring flavor, way more flavor, because there's specific procs that are super unique and super awesome. And like as far as like the whole percentage of like people in these high-end guilds, like that's such a low percentage of the WoW population. It's minute. These people who are going to go that route and farm for hours and hours and hours. And yeah, there's those people and they will do it and they'll gladly do it. They want to be number one. A lot of these teams are sponsored and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But
I'm not even talking about those guys though. I'm talking about the guys that are like in groups that go from heroic to mythic, those types of groups, because they have the competitive drive to go into mythic and be somewhat successful at least. I think those guys are also in that same boat because they are competitive in their own way. If you know what I mean.
Definitely. And they'll be wanting to farm them, and they'll farm them when they can, and they'll be super excited if someone on their team drops or gets that drop. But if they do remain that rare, and if they are best in slot, they'll have to be extremely rare. And I don't know, it's just that uniqueness and that vibe of, there's this item that makes it so it discovers weaknesses in my opponent. So if I attack from this side, it increases my damage. Like, that's awesome. And if they like dilute it by trying to give it to everyone, it takes away the fun. Or like it's just, they have 56 items that they're able to like create these awesome procs with. And if I was on the development team, I'd love it. It would be so much fun developing something like that. And sure, they're going to be super unique, hard to get. And I just, people will, it's like the Overwatch salt right now. Everyone wants the Overwatch beta.
Wait, there's salt? What?
No, there's no salt whatsoever.
And so just having that thing being so rare, there's excitement around it. There's drama around it. Sure. So that's part of excitement and stuff. And so I don't know. I think it feels more legendary, just that whole.
I see this in the chat room right now too, and it's that yes, we're already getting a legendary item. Right. It's called the artifact weapon.
I was going to say that too. Like the fact that they have it just I don't know. I feel like there's a way to do it. I absolutely agree with Tatfa that the fact that there are multiple legendaries for all the different classes, all these cool procs that they want to put on stuff, and some will be better than others. I mean, it kind of almost feels like Diablo loot a little bit, how many legendaries Diablo has. And you get a legendary, you're like, oh, that's cool. That's cooler than what I have now. I can use that for a while. And then you get another cool legendary that's better than it or whatever. And you match it with your set tier items and things like that.
Well, and that's what they're calling Legion, right? I mean, it's the Diablo, the Diablo expansion.
Yeah, that's a thing. Which I thought they were going to announce a Diablo expansion at BlizzCon this year, and they did. It's called Legion. But anyway, no, I just feel like there's a way. It is incredibly frustrating in the past, regardless of whether it was Kata or the other expansions, Mists, Warlord, you had control over whether or not you wanted to get the legendary or not. Whether they told you this is the things you have to do. There is an element of drop rate in it as far as collecting the items, right? But for the most part, every time you ran a raid, you got some stuff towards your legendary. This time it has nothing to do with raiding, nothing to do with quest line, it seems like.
As far as we know, yeah.
As far as we know, and we're just camping world bosses,
right?
Hoping they drop legendaries, and there's no control over it. You could go the entire... Chances are low of this, but you could go the entire expansion dropping a world boss every week and never get your legendary.
And who doesn't know somebody who doesn't have the headless horseman mount, or some of those other mounts or whatever out there? And
people are running this forever. People have been running. Did I ever tell you, by the way, I ran a Nixia with my girlfriend the first time she ever ran a Nixia, and the mount dropped for her.
I grinded that for 6 months on 3 different tunes before.
And some people still don't have it. Some people still don't have, Ashes of Alar, and so they have to make these drop rates higher than those sorts of things for people to not go crazy. That's I don't know, but anyway, we've
Tab is shaking his head.
Yeah, he's like,
nope.
So you're
no,
okay,
they don't.
Tab,
nope.
But you're okay for going the entire expansion, grinding every single week on a rare boss that drops this legendary that you need for best of slot, and you never get it.
Yep.
Never. And somebody else gets it week 1.
Rarity equals legendary in my mind. 100%.
I agree with that.
How awesome is it? You do grind it. You grind it for like 6 months. How awesome is it going to feel when it finally drops? I mean, it might never, but you know.
It'll feel terrible the entire 6 months that my DPS is garbage because some asshole. I can't say that.
That's all right.
This isn't live at BlizzCon, Shark.
I know, right? Right. I'm not allowed to. I'm going to make Doug do work by bleeping that out.
That's all right. Whatever.
I don't know. I mean, not that. I mean, it's just and maybe it's a DPS mentality or whatever. But I want to top the meters every week, and I want to do everything I can to top the meters every week. And by doing this legendary quest, I know that I am effectively working towards topping the meters every week and getting the best in slot item that I need.
And that's why, and that's
for something, and somebody else gets it week 1. It's going to really, really, really upset me.
Well, and that's why I'm saying, if they did like a world drop starts the quest, then I mean I think that would be the better way to do it, in my opinion. But that's my opinion.
You still have to make the drop rate pretty high, because people need a chance to get it.
But then you can make the drop rate higher, because then people have to work at getting the actual thing, because you're starting them on the quest, and then they would be able to work at getting the rest of the thing, whatever it is.
I think there's a way to do it.
There is a way to do it.
I think that we can all be happy, but I understand what Top is saying as well. Rarity is legendary. But I don't know. There's got to be a middle ground somewhere.
It's just important to keep in mind as raiders that these aren't going to be a necessity to progress in raiding. There's still going to be, your set gear and pieces and stuff like that. So you can still progress. It's just supplementary.
It's just you'll be angry the entire time.
Yeah, well,
you do it.
And it's I would rather see, I think, a few people here and there with like one legendary piece than everyone on our raid team having 1 or 2 or 3 legendary pieces on them. I don't know. And maybe by the time that you guys kind of plateau out where you're raiding, it'll be long enough where people start getting those legendaries to help you get over that hump. But
sure. But I mean, as far as progression goes, I mean, if you just look at it from a progression standpoint, everybody's going to want their legendary before they even step into raid. So people are going to be farming this hardcore. So
more power to them. Good luck to everyone in my
absolutely.
I'm just going to be so mad, especially if it's like Tovo. Like we're raiding and Tovo gets the legendary and is going to be top of the meters all expansion now, and there's nothing anybody else can do about it.
He'll do that in blues. Doesn't matter.
That's true.
Wow.
And maybe they don't release these.
I've seen him do it.
Maybe they're not available until after like Mythic or whatever's out for a couple weeks. That way it doesn't factor into the race for world first. Like, this team, a couple people got legendaries, so that's why they got world first.
Should we
maybe these won't be when the expansion drops.
Should we talk about balance? Should we talk about what that does to balancing raids and stuff like that? I mean, geez, that's going to throw everything off, right?
It is an interesting idea because if you are doing the world race, like it is absolutely throws a wrench. Let's say, the number one raid team is doesn't get any of the drops, and somebody that might have made top 10 ends up getting all the drops and gets the world first race just because they rolled the dice and they happen to win the lottery.
Yep.
Like, I just don't. It takes the skill out of that, and so. But I like the idea that Giz said, like. That makes sense to not have legendaries at all until after the world race is over, and then introduce them into a patch. But then you have a lot of time before the next tier comes out, so that hopefully everyone will have a time to have gotten their legendaries, or at least most people have.
Sure.
That will never be the case with the system, I don't think.
I know.
Most people will not have legendaries.
Right. And I do just keep on coming back to the thought of, I thought we were all getting legendaries anyway with these artifact weapons. I thought that's what these were supposed to be.
That's what I thought they were.
And when you see things like Tatfa, did you see the druid forms for the artifact? Oh my, they're so amazing. Like bear form, the cat form. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, I was a bear for 9 years. I kind of want to go back.
I know. I kind of want to go feral or something. I don't know. But some of those guys look like they came from a Grateful Dead concert or something like that. And
we are druids.
Yeah, I know. It was pretty good.
Tovo actually made a good point about legendaries as well, as far as making them end game rewards. So not that you need them for progression, but they drop off of the final boss of the tier, and that's how you get the legendary, because it's the final thing.
No,
that's the big also. I mean, that feels legendary to me too, but I don't know. And that's still the rareness, right? It only one drops off the boss, and almost like the artifact or the heirloom weapons from Garage. I don't know.
Oh, sure.
I feel like we're beating. And
it's like we don't know a lot right now, so it's really tough to judge what we don't know, and until we know more, we can't really criticize on it. So we're just wondering where it could go, and knowing what we know now, does it work or not?
Exactly. It's just important that the listeners understand that I'm right and Tatva's wrong.
I'm so excited.
Of course.
We'll see.
I'm a vanilla raider, man. Like that unique epicness was so much fun back then. It was so much fun. I loved it. And
maybe they keep with this, and I eat my words. I end up having a whole lot of fun, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe first week you get 3 legendaries. And then you laugh at everyone.
We don't even know.
I don't even care.
Yeah, and we don't even know if you'll be able to run them in sequence, or if you can only have one on at a time, or what the case may be. I mean, we don't know any of that stuff. So, I mean, if you can stack legendaries like that, I mean, think how many raid teams will want you, no matter what you're doing, just because you have those legendaries.
Gear doesn't make the player though.
Yeah, but it's like really item level 900 something, and we're sitting at what, 735 now or something like that.
I would think we'd be like 750, or like by the time we get to 110, like 800, right?
But well, it's still it's a lot.
Capped out my ring. I'm set that ring 795.
795.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, like 850, and that's 100 points. Yeah, I don't know.
It's still
blowing my mind.
Yeah.
We've talked about it for like 45 minutes.
I know. Everybody's sick of it now. They're like going, all right, I've turned you off now.
Moving on.
So yes, maybe we should talk a little bit about something else. Because there's other stuff in the beta, in the data mining for the beta that's been going on. And the other thing that has been kind of now as a calculator on many different sites is the artifact talents, right? So we're seeing the artifact talents in a very early form. Of course, we don't necessarily have numbers for everything, but it's like you're seeing some things with a 0 number instead of an actual number. But I mean, as far as what you see for what you're going to be playing, what you plan on playing for Legion, does this feel cool? Does this feel different? Does this feel unique? Does this feel powerful? Tatva, let's go to you first. What were your thoughts initially on seeing some of this stuff?
Well, the calculator was awesome. My initial thought was I went click, and I'm like, okay, druids, click, and then down to feral, click. There is no information on this spec.
Oh.
What? So there's like 6 specs that don't have anything yet, or something like that. Feral being one of them. Very sad. Very, very sad. And then the other one I went to look at initially is because that Demonology Warlock artifact weapon, that floating skull. So excited for that. Click. Click. There's no information on this artifact. It's like, what? Come on. Anyways, but I mean, I don't even play Warlock, but it's just so cool. But I don't know, just looking through them, I mean, it's just cool. It's just choices, you know, like the talent trees, there's going to be new choices. There's choices. I mean, eventually you'll cap it out and it will, you know, just be the weapon that it is, and you'll have access to everything. I mean, that will take some time. And so in that process, you're going to, you know, need to make that choice of what route you want to go. And that's fun. It adds flavor. It makes you unique. I mean, of course, people will figure out what supposedly is the best for raiding or for PvP or otherwise, but of course. And then you make that choice accordingly. Like that's how you'd make the choice in the first place, is what you feel would be the best. So
well, and
it's all good.
It seems kind of like to me that, you know, how in Warlords we had, as you got each level, you gained a new enhanced talent, right? As far as looking at Resto Druid talents for the artifact weapon for Legion, it seems kind of along those lines, except for you have a little bit more choice and it's a little bit more dragged out because it goes beyond your leveling experience, right? So that's kind of how it reads to me, and that's cool. I like that. I like that. Giz, how about you? What did you see for Hunters?
So I'm super excited. I am excited to at least go back and start with Beast Mastery. I loved having the pet. I've had Bernard, who's actually on my shirt right there. He's the sorry if you're listening to the audio, but I have a wolf pack shirt, and Bernard's the leader of the wolf pack.
Okay.
But there's one, it's Guardian of the Titan Spark. When you call a pet, a permanent companion summoned to fight for you. So I'm just interested to see what some of this stuff does. Like, is that going to be so you have 2 pets now? Or is it going to be something to where Beastmasters actually don't start out with a permanent pet, is call pet like a pet's out with for 30 seconds or something, and then when you get this, you finally have a permanent pet. And there's just a lot of cool things that are going to add on to your already existing abilities. And I don't know, excited to see how it all works.
Yeah. Shark, you were looking at mage stuff. Is this correct?
Yes, I went with mages. I never know what I'm going to. I've been playing a mage for a very long time, and I'm not playing him right now. I'll probably play him again. I'll definitely play him again, especially when you have a talent on the Frost Mage called Let It Go.
Let it go. Let it go.
It's the best. It's a frozen Frost Mage. Yay! Anyway, no, I mean, a lot of stuff looks really, really cool. Just looking at the Frost talents right now, it looks like just basic across the board, you know, damage increase. It's just more damage every time you click on something. For example, Let It Go, increase critical strike damage or critical damage of ice lands by 20%. That's huge. By the time you get to the end, activating Icy Veins increases frost damage by 100%. You're doing literally double damage when you pop Icy Veins, which also gives you hate. I mean, some of these are just insane. And by leveling up your weapons, you're going to feel so powerful. That's something I think that Blizzard is doing right. To me, it feels like you're combining the new talent system after they went away from talent trees, combining that new talent system, which I think is a lot better, more streamlined, more simplified. I enjoy it a lot more. But now you're combining the things that we like about talent trees, and we get to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really great idea, and I cannot wait. It's going to make me want to level a bunch of different people and a bunch of different specs and try a bunch of new stuff. It's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Right. And I know that there are talent calculators on MMO Champion and Wowhead and probably other places too. But they're all over the place. So if you want to go check it out, guys out there, make sure to go check it out. But understand that this is still early, and you know there are some things that just say 0. Like There's a talent for resto druids that says Dreamwalker. Every 0 casts of Swiftmend or regrowth causes blah blah blah. Okay, I don't think that's right. It doesn't sound right to me. But it's kind of cool to see some of the flavor coming back and these enhanced talents or whatever you want to call them, enhanced damage and healing and tanking stuff it's pretty fun. It's pretty good stuff. And Gizmo, I wanted to talk to you about something, and that is you play Hunter.
Yes.
Are you going to be switching to Gnome?
Absolutely. As much as I love my dwarf, so before I joined Convert to Raid, I was a horde.
Dirty
World
horde.
of Warcraft life, and I was a goblin hunter as soon as those came out.
Yeah.
So while being a dwarf is cool, it's a small hunter. I want to be the smallest hunter. So gnome hunter it is.
Right.
Plus I can have pink hair.
Right. And they came out this week. Well, since our last show, we knew that they were coming out with hunters, with gnome hunters, but now we understand that there's actually going to be high-tech pets that go along with these guys, mecha pets or whatever you want to call them. So gnomes and goblins will be able to tame these pets, these tech pets, these mechanicals, and engineers will be able to craft something so that other races can join in on the fun as well, if you guys want to do that. But there's it sounds like there's going to be some challenge for taming these mechanical pets, Giz. Are you ready for it?
It's not like they're just, I want to go get this rare pet and I have to be really good at kiting and kite it for a while I'm able to tame it. It sounds like there's actually going to be puzzles and stuff to solve, which is really cool. But I don't really want a mechanical pet unless they make like some that just look freaking sweet. I mean, the gnomes are going to start out with, I think it's a rabbit, little mechanical rabbit pet. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a lot to pull me away from Bernard.
Come on. You'll be able to.
It's going to take a lot.
You'll be able to go into a raid and defeat a giant boss with like a mechanical squirrel.
Unless they have a mechanical wolf, which then I can tie into the lore of Ragnaros melted Bernard's face off, but really he's like a Terminator wolf.
Oh.
He's
Bernard 2.0.
Bernard 2.0.
Yeah. Your own RP with it. Well, don't they already have a mechanical? Don't they already have a mechanical wolf-ish type of thing? Don't they? No, they don't.
I know they have cyber wolves in Heroes of the Storm.
Yes, maybe that's what I was thinking of. That actually might be it. Because I've been playing a lot of HOTS lately and stuff like that. So yeah. So maybe that'll come over to WoW, to the WoW side. Who knows?
That just doesn't sound right to me.
But
mechanical pets,
right?
That's the whole thing about hunters being one with nature, and that's kind of a druid thing too. But I mean, you're out in the elements and you're by yourself, and you've met this companion and you have to train him to help you hunt and fight, and it's all very I don't know, just the mechanical thing doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not a hunter.
You used to have to feed them, and actually you can still you can still feed them. You can still feed them. And the cool thing is with these mechanical pets, you can still feed them, but you have to feed them like nuts and bolts
and stuff. Yeah. And it ties in because gnomes weren't able to be hunters.
I like your face, Shark.
It's just so dumb. Now first of all, we have to go ahead and just clear. I am gnome racist and I am elf racist, and I have been my entire life, and it's something I'm trying to deal with. And I actually have two things I hate more than anything else are gnomes and warlocks. And I actually have a gnome warlock trying to get over this problem. Archibald, and his name is Archibald, by the way, because he's fat.
I have a gnome warlock, and his name is Morsel.
Morsel, that's a great one. But no, Archibald tries to keep me in check, but it's just silly. It's just silliness, which I'm glad I'm all joking aside, I'm glad they brought it into the game. Yeah. But it's
because it was the only holdout.
As another hunter, I would be like, "You're not a real hunter."
It was the only race that couldn't be a hunter.
That's true, and I'm glad they brought it in, and it's fun, and I'm glad they found a way to do it. But I don't know,
this taming thing sounds to me like it's going to be like I'm trying to remember what expansion was it. It was it Cataclysm where they came up with a bunch of different stuff that you could tame, that you like, one, you couldn't wear armor at all when you went to tame it, and so you had to like fight it in the nude.
Go naked.
Yeah. So
It doesn't sound like a pet I want around if it's only going to be around me when I don't have clothes on.
Quest was called, I don't know. Well, and I'm thinking maybe it's something like the Green Fire Quest,
sure.
It was a challenging thing that you had to do. You had to complete a small quest line to get it. I don't know. It could be fun. It sounds like fun. That's great. Go Gnomes.
It's all good.
You're still tiny and puntable, but
It's something else to do.
Well, it should be a good time anyway, and I know that gnomes around World of Warcraft are really happy about it, and hunters, Alliance hunters, are really happy about it, and I know that they're really happy about, on both sides of the red and blue, that they'll be able to tame some new pets, and that's kind of always a good flavor thing for everybody. So
I think Horde players should be happy about killing gnome hunters in PvP. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
They can click them.
yeah. if you can click them, you can kill them. Oh man! All right, let's move on. I know that we have some mail as well today, so we'll get through that. And there's nothing really going on in BattleNet news, right? There's nothing new.
Not
Okay.
besides all the sales, which you already went over.
All right, then we'll just go to the mailroom.
We've got mail.
We do. And if you have a question about anything for us, about rating or anything else, just let us know. We'll try to answer it on the show. You can email us at converttoraid@gmail.com or call our raid line, 612-787-RAID. And this first one, Gizmo, can you help us out with this one, please?
From Alec. So he says, with the dramatic changes to classes and specs, does Blizz run the risk of alienating more people than they capture with spec fantasy?
They are changing it up quite drastically for some classes and specs. And Tatva, do you have thoughts on this particular subject?
As far as like losing people, yeah, I mean there'll be disagreements, like some combat switch to outlaw, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what the change was?
Mm-hmm.
I mean combat rogues may not have felt like pirates, their whole lives, but now they are going to be pirates, so they might just have to take on the subtlety spec or whatever, And so, I mean, as far as like alienating people though, and like losing people to that, like people might make new choices, like go a different route, like, oh, I feel this vibe more than the current spec that I'm experiencing. But I don't know. This was the thing that I was most excited about at BlizzCon. This was the most fun announcement for me personally. Yeah. Like, I love this idea of bringing fantasy back to the classes and just that flavor back. I'm a druid, and so I'm loving life right now.
Yeah.
The affinity and all that stuff. But
yeah, well, I know that when it was first announced, like some of these, when they came out with all those different blog posts about the different classes and specs and what they were going to be, I know that there was some dissent among folks that said, I never really. People put a lot into their characters, right? I mean, they don't just put a lot of time killing mobs and getting gear. They also put some role play elements into a Gizmo. You've done it with your pet, and other people have done it for their character. And so when it comes in and the new spec, like I think it was Shadow Priest, came out, and somebody said, you know what? I never thought of myself as crazy. I just thought of myself as being kind of a little bit more warlocky. And so it doesn't really jive with what they had in their head, and it kind of throws them off a little bit. So,
well, that description right there, like he said himself, I feel like a warlock. Like, that's wrong. You're Shadow Priest.
Well, and it was,
I mean, it's not wrong.
Obviously, they had a different description of it. But I was generalizing, but
yeah.
But I mean, it is kind of one of those things. I understand why Blizz did what they did, because I think that needed to happen, right? But some people might not agree. Shark, are you hearing anything like that? What do you think about this?
I've heard some people on both sides. I'll say this: change is good. It's really good. Having something like that, we've talked for half an hour about the legendary weapons earlier. Yeah. We couldn't agree on it, and that's fine. The idea of something different is going to be good. If they had the same expansion and just re-rolled it over and over and over again, it wouldn't be any fun. If mages played the same way they did in Classic, it probably wouldn't be any fun. You know what I mean?
You'd just be making water.
Well, yeah, just making water the entire time and never casting a spell, and then or we could go back to the way it was in Wrath, and it was literally a one-button rotation. Like there was nothing to do other than build arcane charges and dump them, build them and dump them, and that's all you did.
Right.
But anyway, because of these, I love that Blizzard seems to be a group that is constantly trying to change and do new things. And personally, I love the idea of the spec fantasy idea. I love being able to sit there and feel unique and feel powerful in myself. And what I'm hoping happens is that if I choose to play fire, for example, as my mage, I can be just as powerful as any arcane or frost mage, more powerful in some ways, maybe not as powerful in others, but that's wholly who I am, and I am a fire mage, and I can do all these cool things that fire mages can do, and I get to, and all of my spells are just fire, right? I don't have ice block anymore because I don't use ice. I have something else that's fiery and shrouds me, you know what I mean?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. You lost me completely.
Not I mean, but anyway. It seems right to me. It seems like a positive choice. And I think that the players they attract are going to be a lot more than the players they detract.
Sure.
Detract.
Sure. Giz, any thoughts on this?
Yeah. So let's be honest. The game's over 10 years old now.
It's
so
11. It's
change,
11, actually. Yeah.
So change is absolutely a good thing. And again, some people I'm sure will be alienated, but for the most part, it's as great. I know as a hunter, all the classes kind of felt the same, and they did a really good job this last expansion with adding in the lone wolf. So when you're a marksman and stuff, like you don't have a pet, you get the boosted damage. You want to be as still as you can for that buff. And so they've already differentiated a little bit, but now with hunters, Beastmaster is literally all about the pet because that's the only hunter spec that has a pet. And then you got the marksman, who I assume will kind of be like what they are now. And then survival, melee hunter. Insane.
So
super
cool.
excited for it.
I'm so stoked.
I'm sure there'll be a spec for each class that plays a lot like a spec that they already play right now.
Mm-hmm.
All this does is give more opportunity to explore in the game and try out new things. And it gives... I kind of fell away from playing alts this last expansion, but I feel like in this new one, I'm going to have way too many alts just because I want to be trying out every little thing and seeing how all the different specs feel.
Right. And I know that we have a druid question here. So Shark, can you get this question from McBone? Yes, his name is McBone.
Nice.
So if you can read that would be great.
From McBone on Thrall US, the new druid affinity talents and legions had me thinking of doing two things I said I would never do. Play a druid or a worgen. My buddy and I are thinking about spending our level 100 Legion boosts at Alliance Tunes and joining CTR as we currently have 40s. Okay.
That's cool.
My question to the resident druids are there any particular reasons to roll a druid worgen versus a night elf worgen or versus a night elf other than aesthetics? Any advice would be appreciated. Love the show and look forward to joining CTR.
And yes, McBone. Well, we look forward to your arrival into the CTR fold over on Airy Peak. And if you guys are interested out there, you can always go to converttoraid.com/guild. Excuse me. And sign up. You can go do it. Tatva, what is the...
Oh, crap.
What's the deal with druids?
Pulled you out of my ear, but I imagine you asked me what I think about this whole thing.
Yes, I am asking you that right now. Yes. Go for it.
Do it. 100 boost, druid, get here. As far as the choice between night elf and worgen, I've always been an aesthetic type choice person. I was a female Tarn for 9 years. Just it's the hips. It's all about the hips. Anyways, but moving on past that, as far as the difference between those two races, if you like to PvP, you'll probably want to go Night Elf. Just that Shadow Meld is huge. Yeah. It's huge. You can't get around it. So,
but
if you're not going to PvP, Worgen's cool. You have an extra sprint, I guess.
You just want the extra way that you can disappear, so that you don't care about stealth so much, especially if you're playing.
No,
feral?
stealth is still huge.
Right.
It's just
Right.
having that emergency, like I need to get out of combat right now.
Yeah,
I'm about
I
to
suppose.
die.
I suppose.
Yeah, no, I mean just that's the biggest probably difference. If you liked PvP, I'd go Night Elf, but
Right.
I'm a Worgen.
Well,
personally.
and the racials are for Worgen, you get a 1% crit bonus or something like that, and then they still have that, right?
And Darkflight, you also
And
have
Darkflight. Darkflight is actually really cool. So if you,
Yeah.
that's a good way to get away as well. And the two forms thing is just kind of a cool.
It's a fun aesthetic thing to play with. Yeah.
And
Like,
then
I'm a human.
And then
Nah.
the night elf, then the night elf racial is that you get a 1% crit during the day, and at night you get 1% haste.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's not very much either way. So
Yeah.
just pick what you want.
Oh, and then what is the? I mean, I'm a Worgen, and I don't know what it's called. What's the travel form? The wolf travel form.
Yeah.
I can't
Oh
remember. what it's
yeah,
called.
running
Running wild.
running
yeah.
wild. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
You're
It's
your
so
own
awesome.
mount.
it is pretty cool.
Like
So-
the funny thing was that existed in like
Classic.
vanilla beta,
Yeah.
vanilla beta, but the Tarn had it.
It was
Yeah.
for
that
The
plane
planes
striding.
walking. The planes, yeah.
It was. Oh, I wish they brought it back for Tarn. It would be so cool.
A
Just to see
Torn
if
on all
Tarn
fours?
just
No,
Yeah,
just originally
just
was.
hoofing it, just
Oh.
running.
Oh, really?
They-
Just running?
Wait, hold on a sec. Torrens were hoofing it. Is that
Yeah,
a
that's
joke?
why I said it.
Nice.
I
Nice.
don't know why I did that.
I like it.
But yeah, they Blizzard needs to bring that back since Worgen got it. Come on, plane striding. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, might as well. Come on,
I love it.
fair's fair.
Yeah, I would say as a Worgen myself, I'm partial to Worgen just because I think their lore is cool. But yeah, it's an aesthetic or character building. Like it's kind of an RP question even sometimes. Like
Yeah.
what for me, I think every single one of my characters has a backstory because I'm a dork. In my own head, you know what I mean? There's
Sure.
something behind all of them. So when you roll what you roll, you just do it for you. I feel like worrying too much about the racials.
Oh yeah, it's
Unless you are like really, I mean, that's like the min-max thing.
That's never our gig. I mean,
outside of PvP, there are some talents that are just really, really great in PvP, like top of mentioned Shadow Mend or Melder. But I think that go with your gut, go with what feels right, and werewolves are awesome.
yeah.
So
It's just, do you want to be a bear, chicken, cat, tree, dog, or do you want to be?
it just makes sense. If you're a druid, you're a shapeshifter, and who are the best shapeshifters out there other than werewolves? Worgen, get it.
They just need to add in, since you can be either a human or a werewolf, that you can choose between those two druid forms as well. Because I don't like the Worgen bears; they look weird. And the
you can shape
cats look like bats, like they have a bat face or something. So like if you shift while you're in your human form, then you get the regular druid shift, I guess.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Yeah,
kind of cool.
Humans
They won't do it. Don't count on that. They just redid all the forms. They're not going to do them again. They're not going to make more choices for you. All right, I think it's time that we get the heck out of here. And so I'm going to play. Well, it's time. It's just time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play this. Darius isn't here, so nobody looked up anything on iTunes. But thank you if you gave us 5-star reviews on iTunes. And, of course, always thank you for the YouTube comments. Well, most of them. But, it is the internet. Any shout-outs this week, fellas?
Yeah, I've got a shout out. I want to give a shout out to my team, to Hardcores. I didn't get to mention at the beginning of the raid.
How are you guys doing?
But we're doing really, really good. We got Manaroth to 2% this week after only 2 pulls.
Wow.
We got to him at the very, very beginning. Yeah, we're going to get him. I smell an Archimon kill by Christmas.
That's cool.
That's what I think is going to happen. So, and then we'll start working on heroics. But great job to you guys. I'm really proud of you.
Awesome. I know that I want to give a shout out to everybody that's helping out with the moose runs, with the friendship moose in our guild and guilds across World of Warcraft land. If you guys are doing this stuff and helping out people and just kind of building community, like that, doing that type of thing. That's awesome. Thank you for doing the hard work of putting that stuff together. And if you guys want to sign up, you can always sign up at converttoraid.com. Click on the Moose thing, on the Moose banner, and you can, you can wait in line. Any other shout-outs?
Yeah, I just want to shout out to the 35 people this week who obtained their Moose mount. So congrats to you guys, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, cool. And we cannot do this show without you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to rate us on iTunes. The ones that did that, the ones that gave us, the pleasant comments on YouTube. Thank you guys. Please feel free to join in on all the conversations we're having at any time. And you can do that real easy. But first, I'm going to bail on that. And then I'm going to play that one. There we go. You can always email us, converttoraid@gmail.com. You can call us and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. You can follow us on Twitter at ConvertToRaid or individually. Isn't that right, Shark?
Yeah, you can follow Pat Crane at Pat Crane. You can follow Giz at Gizmozord. You can follow me at Sharku_CTR and Tatva at LOS_gaming.
Or Los Gaming.
Los Gaming.
Gaming.
The Latin American version of gaming. Los Gaming.
LOS Gaming. And you guys are doing more topics and doing more things and building up that channel over there on YouTube's, and you and Tovo working so hard.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation. Like, we're just doing something new. I mean, like, those old strategy guides, like, that's something that people go out and search for. So, like, the views come with those videos because people are looking. But as far as, like, what we're doing now, it's kind of a new, like, newsy, opinion-based 2-minute topic thing that we're just going to cover all sorts of random stuff. But because of that, you know, people aren't searching for it. So if you get a chance, go check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Let us know.
Gizmo, what's happening on Lords of the Storm soon on your next show? You know yet?
Yes, actually, we're recording tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we will be having Mick on the show, actually.
Oh, Mick Montgomery.
Yes, Mick Montgomery, who's,
awesome.
Of course, on Convert to Raid and Stormcast, and we will be covering Stitches. So.
Oh, Stitches.
You know, I heard a rumor that Stitches want to play. That's what I...
Really? That's where you're going with it? Awesome.
Yeah. Is that true? Does Stitches, in fact, want to play?
I think he does. I'm pretty sure. Shark, anything going on with you in the near future?
No, I mean, I'll play a lot of Overwatch. I'll play a lot of Heroes of the Storm. Cool. Hopefully I'll be getting to streaming some of that. We got our raids coming up on Saturdays. Lots of video game stuff.
Right.
Winter break is coming. Christmas is coming.
Yeah,
Lots of video game time.
It's all coming very, very soon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Winter.
gosh. Right. Well, for you guys, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to also join the Bazoobagwabo Nation over at converttoraid.com. That's where we have our show downloads, our forums, our videos, our audios, tons of links for raiders, and so much more. It's all over at converttoraid.com. And for the live shows, you can head over to converttoraid.com/live, or you can catch us on alphageekradio.com, where we are now live streaming. There's a little bit of an echo. The Convert to Raid podcast is produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends and my new show, A Case of the Mondays with Jules Scott. It's all over at signalsmedia.com. Check it out over there. And that's going to be it for the show. We hope you had a good time. I know that we did. Talking about Legendaries. Talking about the artifact weapons. Oh, so much new stuff. It's all so fun. I love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll see you on our next show next week at our regular time, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Central. For all the guys at Convert to Raid. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.